And welcome back to another episode of Watch Me Mix. We are working on the vocal for Old Empty Nest by Domestic Research Partners. And I've done a little bit of work off camera here. Let me just walk you through what I've done, and I'm going to keep going momentarily. So, first on the vocal sound, I ditched the two compressors. It was a really cool example, I think, but I just didn't love the sound. And so I'm using now, after the dynamic EQ that I threw on here, I'm using RVox by Waves. And then I'm taking a different approach to try to control the dynamics. These two compressors were designed to try to control the dynamics, but it's just so dynamic. It's so loud here and so quiet here. So I'm doing something a little bit different. I've got RVox on here. I've bypassed those two compressors. And then what I'm doing is I've actually brought the gain of this whole section down by 5 dB. And what I did is I kind of set the gain so it's decent for this area. I brought this section down by 5 dB. And what I'm going to do here is continue to listen through and just take certain areas and bring them up or down by a few dB. And that will help to level it out leading into this compressor. So we're going to take a look at that, and I'm going to listen through, and I'll be back with you momentarily. All right, so I've gone through and I've adjusted the gain slightly on this. As you can see, it's all cut up a little bit, and it's still leading into this RVox here. Let me just zoom in and show you what I've done. I've just listened through, and then when I find an area that I want to turn up or down, I hold Command, and I can change the selection. My command click tool up here is set to selector. I think it's the marquee tool. Yeah. So I hold Command, drag over, then I go T and G on the keyboard, and that switches to the gain tool, and I can turn up or down the gain of a particular section. I'm just going to undo that. But that's what I've done throughout this whole vocal line. And you can see what I've done here. If I just mouse over minus 2.5, minus 2, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, minus 1, minus 2. So it's small changes is what I'm trying to say, not a lot of big changes. This is plus 5, minus 2. So that's a big change. This line was very quiet. Plus 1, minus 2. So this line I wanted to be nice and strong. So little changes there. So that's what I've done. That's another way of dealing with something very, very dynamic. And just to show, this whole area is minus 5, whereas these areas are going to be like minus 2, minus 2. So you get the idea. And that all leads into the compressor. I'll play a little bit so you can kind of hear the dynamics.
We'll miss you, my dear, 'cause children grow, that's the way. And I hope you take with you the memories we've made. And I know you've got so much more to grow. So as long as you know there's a road that leads home.
So hopefully you can get the idea here. I did not want to just heavily compress it ultimately the way that I originally had it. I felt like it just sounded too compressed. This is such a dynamic song, and it's such an acoustic song that the heavy compression just wasn't working great on her vocal. So that's the route I went. I'm happy with the vocal for now. I also changed up the reverb and delay just a little bit from the last episode, but I didn't change the plugin. I just changed the amounts that I'm sending. And I also did a little bit of changes on the way the drums are mixed. I originally had, if I go to the kicks, let's see here. This kick is the kick in, and this is the kick out. Here's the out. It's a very deep low one. And this is the one that has the smack in it. I actually swapped to have this the primary one. So this one is at 0, and this one is now at -7. Before, this was -7, this was 0. So I just wanted a little bit more of that natural kick sound. I did a similar thing with the snare. I think I turned the snare down way down and just kept the snare up and increased the reverb on it a little bit. So just some adjustments to the drums as I was listening off camera. Okay, so let's get into these backing vocals. A couple different ways that you can approach this. First, what I'm going to do is just listen to them so I get an idea of what they're actually doing. It looks like we have 1 and a double take, 2 and a double take. So it looks like 3 performances, maybe 3 harmonies, just double take. And you know what we'll do just to clean this up is we're going to take this, we're going to cut all these and get rid of all of this just so we can see what's happening with the backing vocals, and then we'll turn up the view a little bit here. Okay, so this first one. Whoops, got my cycle on. Ooh, that's some not great sounds in there. Just be like the low one and double take with it. Yeah, I don't know what those clicking sounds are. If I'll probably do something, I'll probably duplicate this one and get rid of that one if I continue to hear that in the mix. And I'll show you a cool trick for doing that. Let me just listen to the next ones. Sounds like there's a dog running around. I don't know what that is. How about this one? Double take. Okay, these might need to be pitched also. Let's just listen to them all together, just to hear them all together.
Nest as an old open door. I'll miss you, my dear. I'll miss you, my dear.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the goal here is with all that clicking and clacking in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to ignore it for now. I mean, it's going to be super, super apparent if I listen to it. I mean, the only other thing happening is the piano.
So as long as you know there's a road that leads home, and this old empty nest has an old open door, I'll miss you, my dear. I'll miss you, my dear.
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of clicking. All right, so let's get into this. So let's see if I know the clicking is in this one. This one.
There's a road that leads home, and this old empty nest has an old open door.
So this one's good. Let's listen to these two. That one's better. These two. These are all good. So I think I'm going to do a little bit of Frankenstein work here. So check this out. This will be a lot of fun. So what I'm going to do is we're going to make 2 tracks. Duplicate that. And this is going to be my harm 3.1, and you'll see what's going to go on here. My third harmony, 3.1, 3.2. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to duplicate this. So this right here, I'm going to come down, and that's good. That's good. That's good. Clicking in that one. So do we have it over here? We do. So we're going to take this, and it looks like also this, and we're going to pull that down. Yep, clicking there. So we need this one. Versus that one's better. And we're going to duplicate that there. Get rid of this. So now we should have, the level might be off, but we should have a complete version of this third harmony. So what I've done is I've taken these two and I've Frankensteined them into this one. And you might be saying, well, aren't there supposed to be two? And there are, but I'm going to show you how I do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause here. I'm going to do this process for all three of these harmonies, and then we're going to come back. Okay, we're back. And so what I've done is I've made a sort of a Frankenstein version, a single take out of each of the two takes of each harmony. So real quick, if I hit H on the keyboard, it's going to show me the 6 takes that were originally taken. This is one harmony doubled, one harmony doubled, one harmony doubled. And so there's all this clicking and clacking. I think it's like a dog walking around. And what I've done is I've taken the best bits without the clicks and put them together. So that is the best bits of these two. That is the best bits of these two, and for the third one as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to virtualize doubling them in order to still make it sound like 6 different voices. There's still some clicking, but let me just play it for you so you can hear how it sounds now. You'll still hear some clicking, but it's way better than before. Timing's off there. We got to fix that.
I'll miss you, my dear. I'll miss you, my dear.
Cool. So these obviously need a little bit more cleaning up, but I just wanted to show you that principle to start with. So my next task is going to be really going through with a fine-tooth comb and cleaning them up, getting rid of breaths that don't need to be there, adding breaths that do, and just trying to make them sound a little bit more natural. This one, the timing is a little bit off, like here.
There's a road that leads
Right, so this probably needs to go here. I might have moved it incorrectly.
home. There's a road that leads home, and the soul that
And like these little things on the end here are probably no good.
there's a road that leads home, and the soul.
Clicking in this one, I think still. Maybe this one. Oh, I guess it is this one. Yeah, the middle one is the worst one. Yeah, so what I could do with that is, I could maybe just fade it like that. And then we get this.
There's a road that leads home, and the soul.
I could also basically take a section and duplicate it. So check this out. There we go. So I just finished doing that. So basically I took this section here and I duplicated it 3-4 times, added some fades, and now we have this. So no more clicks. So what I'm going to do in the next episode here is continue cleaning this up. It's going to be a lot of work to do these, but I think it's going to be good, and the artist is going to appreciate it. They probably might have thought that all these were maybe a lost cause if they listened to them, but they would be really impressed, I think, to be able to hear them nice and clean, added in. They're going to sound nice, panned and reverbed. They're going to sound really nice. So stick around. We're going to keep editing this on the next episode.